So good to see you guys. Welcome to our living room.
We're the Spoons.
So glad you're here.
And we wanted to share our adoption story. Finally, we thought about doing this many weeks ago, and then our miracle daughter came very quickly.
She did.
And she's actually home right now.
Right here.
She's right down here. So if you hear some cooing noises, or if I end up wearing her, or if we look exhausted, well...
We are.
But we wanted to make sure we sat down and told our story. Really, it's God's story in our life because it's so special. And I just feel like He really is telling a story and wanting to get glory. And it's our responsibility to share, and it's our joy to share. It's a crazy story, in my opinion, just because of all the details, and we've waited so long. So
of course, we know all the details, and so when we look back over the last 6 or 7 years of our journey of growing our family, it's amazing to see all the highs and the lows and how God was in every single detail. And so it's amazing. And so we want to share with our friends today.
When you've been waiting for something for so long, I feel like, this is just being honest, it can almost feel like it wears off to people who haven't, there's some people that's like, oh yeah, that was a miracle, and then it's like, okay, they've moved on, and obviously we haven't. We'll be telling this story for the rest of our lives because it's such a huge part of our lives. We waited for 6 years. I mean, think of that, 6 times 365, right? Is that the right math? Days, moments, mornings, nights, prayers, of waiting. We had 2 miscarriages during that time. We've been married for 10 years, actually, this year, which is so exciting. But during that time, we had 2 miscarriages, one in 2021. That was a blighted ovum. It was the first time I ever got pregnant, and I was 11 weeks pregnant when we found out that I was miscarrying, and it was a blighted ovum, which you can look that up, what that means. But basically,
I still don't really know what it
there's
means.
there's a gestational sac, but by the time we looked in the ultrasound, there wasn't actually a baby in there. So either the baby had passed away early, or it was a chemical pregnancy or something. There's really no knowing. That was my first ultrasound. And then we went through 4 years of nothing, no positive tests, no answers, unexplained infertility. And really that 4 years, I've shared this in a blog that I'll link. That 4 years for me totally changed who I was. God transformed me during that time. He met me really powerfully. A lot of that was because of Ryan and the way that he helped me navigate anxiety and things like that. But those 4 years was just so transformational in my faith and who I am as a woman. And experiencing God still brings so much purpose in the middle of a waiting, and just getting to the point where there was a resolve of, even if this doesn't happen, our lives aren't about the miracle happening. Our lives aren't about the prayer being answered. That can't be what it's about. Our resolve, our life has to be about the fact that we have access to God all the time. That He's near to us, that He is our friend, that He is our Lord, that we can have life abundant with Him anyways. And it was during that time where I found that resolve. Yeah,
I think if you've walked with the Lord for any amount of time, you can look back and realize that He uses these seasons to grow you closer to Him. I think that's kind of a general way of saying He was taking us through a fire, at several different fires that turned into one big season.
One big fire. Yeah. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, you keep going.
Okay. But basically what Lenisa said, where, God was growing, the Lord was growing us closer to Him, and He was basically molding and shaping the things that we thought we desired the most. And what's interesting, and we're going to share the details of our story here in just a moment, but what's interesting is it was just a few months before we found out about our placement that I felt like we both found that resolve kind of on our own, not together necessarily, to where we were realizing that, and I actually wrote a song about this, that there was only one thing. And basically I was sitting in a hotel trying to write music. I'd gone away on a retreat just to try and write music, and I felt like the Lord said to me,
this is in 2025.
2025.
So last year from the time
we were just kind of getting some bad news, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but I'm sitting in this hotel, and I felt like the Lord said, you've held so tightly so long to this desire, this promise that you think I want to give you, and you think that that's the thing that's going to satisfy you, that it's going to fulfill you. But the truth is, when you get it, no matter what that thing is, for whoever's watching or listening, but when you get that thing that you've prayed for, you've waited for, we've been through a crazy waiting season, when you've waited for it, when you get it, it's not the thing that's going to satisfy you. That only Christ does that. And once I heard that, wrote about it, and then realized it, started to sing about it, I felt like the Lord resolved in my heart that he would meet the need, or he would keep the promise, but it wasn't about the promise, it was about the person promising. Cool. And so
and Ryan's been waiting a lot longer than I have.
And it has shifted. It's shifted the way that I look at many things, but the way I look at this part of growing our family, it's an incredible blessing. But at the end of the day, this is all about Jesus, and he is truly, honestly, the only one that will ever fill those voids that we have in our lives.
Yeah. So let's tell a story.
Let's do it.
I shared most of our story in a blog, but I'm just going to quickly start in 2025, which was last year, because that was really I was blindsided. We both were blindsided kind of year. It kind of felt like the final push year that we didn't think was coming. Yeah. Because we started 2025 hopeful.
Full of faith.
Yeah.
Full of faith.
I mean, I wasn't full of faith, if I'm being honest. But I got a few words from people like, I really believe this is the year. And I'm like, okay, I'll hold lightly to that, because I've gotten so many words over the years. Like, this is going to, God's going to do it. And then you wait 6 years. So I won't go into a lot of detail for 2025, but I will say it was a final push. We started 2025 doing some fertility treatments, and I ended up doing an IUI. And we thought that was going to be it. Like, Ryan was...
You could not talk me out of it. Like, I just knew, knew that I knew that I knew. Like, as much as I know that Lenisa's sitting here right now,
that it was going to happen.
It was the one. We were going to do it.
And there was a lot of little details in that, too. I don't know if you remember. Like, people that came up to us and gave us words during that time. Just the timing of the IUI happened at the same time I had my last miscarriage. Like, we just thought this is, when you see things kind of pan out, or you look at it from a view, you're like, oh, that could be a really cool redemption story. Okay. Well, the IUI ended up becoming an ectopic pregnancy. It happened at crazy timing because we found out about it on Easter Sunday, and we had to go get it treated around Mother's Day. We both work for a church, so we were working services during that time, and it was devastating. It truly was devastating. So I went through that ectopic pregnancy just a few days before and during our refresh retreat that we hosted. And so that was wild. Again, you can read the story more. But we went through that, and it was just... It shook me a lot. Yeah. It really did shake my faith. I didn't understand. I prayed specifically, God, if you grow our family, if you let me get pregnant, please, I'd just rather not get pregnant if I'm going to have another miscarriage. And then those things happened. Yeah. The things that I was kind of holding on to, like, if this doesn't happen or this does, if I get these types of results back, then everything will be okay. And when those things aren't okay, you're left with, well, how am I going to be okay? Yeah. And that's because of the Lord alone. So you want to share the next part, which is in September, we got word.
Yeah, so in September, we got word that, why don't you, I don't know what you want me to say here.
The adoption. So throughout our infertility journey, we felt kind of this gentle leading to adopt. Yeah. It wasn't this big lights in the sky thing.
We knew we wanted to do it. We just didn't know when we wanted to do it.
Yeah, we talked about it since we were dating. We're like, we would adopt one day. But that was kind of it. So I don't even remember when we started, maybe 2023. Yeah. We started the process of our home study and everything like that. It took some time. We ended up getting approved. And then we were just a waiting family for about a year and a half of hearing nothing. Okay?
We got reapproved again.
So during my ectopic pregnancy, 2025, that happened, and I was like, well, it's time to renew our home study. I don't want to. I don't feel like anything is going to work at this point. So we did it straight out of faith. There was no good feelings about it. And if I wouldn't have had that ectopic pregnancy, I don't think we would have. Like, if that pregnancy would have been successful, I don't know if we would have renewed our home study at that time.
I don't think we would have. Yeah.
So we renewed our home study, continued to wait, and then September of 2025 comes around.
Get a call.
And we get a call from our friend, and we'll call her Birdie. That's our nickname for her. We get a call from Birdie.
Yeah, so Birdie, basically, she reaches out and says, hey, my daughter is pregnant, and will you just pray for her? And that was it. That's all she was asking for. Birdie is a close friend of ours from years ago. I used to work with her at the church that we work at. Shout out Wellspring.
She used to be my boss, but she was just my friend. She walked with me through so much miscarriage because she herself had been through that. She's the reason we ended up with this specific adoption agency.
Yep.
Because she had adopted from that agency prior.
Yep, so she just reaches out and asks us, as well as a few other people, to just begin to pray for baby's mom. And we are, of course, all in because we had seen this mom grow up from around age 13, 14, and just watched everything that she had gone through and walked through. And so we began to partner with her and pray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a few days after that, Birdie sends another text and she's like, hey, so my daughter's getting on a bus. She's coming down here. She's going to go be with this adoption agency. And it was our adoption agency. Yeah. And immediately I was like, this is our baby.
I feel like
there's no way this could not be our baby.
I feel like we were both that way, but we didn't say it to each other. I remember laying in the bed hearing that, and I was like, is it happening right now?
You really get, like, what's the word? Where you're just, like, hesitant to go all in your excitement because of all
you're cautious, like...
Yeah, experience we've had.
I think that's one of the phrases we've used a lot in the last 6 years is cautiously optimistic. Like,
ugh, my agent would tell me that all the time, and I'm like, I don't want to be that. I want to be excited full on, okay? So, yes. And I just felt like we knew. And so we just continue to pray. Like, God really put this birth mom strong on our hearts. Again, we're friends, dear friends with this family already. We've known them for years. And a few days after, just praying for her, knowing that she was down here at the adoption agency, we get a text from our adoption agent that says, hey, can I give you a call? Which we really don't get calls from her unless there's news.
In a long time,
And we get a call. And you remember what she said?
I don't remember the details. I just remember it was we have a match, basically.
She was like, this is a rare experience. I really don't see this often. But this birth mom doesn't want anybody but you guys. She just keeps saying, Ryan Lanisa, Ryan Lanisa, Ryan Lanisa, that's who I want. And she would like to match with you. And we're just like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? And so we took the weekend to pray, which we did pray, but it's like we didn't really need to pray. Like, come on. And we ended up responding and giving our answer, which was yes, we would like to be matched with her.
Yeah. It's just crazy. I mean, just crazy just to think about 2025, like
she always was.
The highs, the lows, one thing that comes to mind is the people around us who cared for us, had faith for us, loved us. I mean, we are, just a plug for community in your life. Like,
you have to.
I don't know what our 2025 would have looked like without our pastors, our, people that we do our lives with. And I mean, there's a few special people who really walked with us through all of this, and to be honest with you, they have stayed locked in. Like, we have somebody coming to our house tonight to like be here with us just so we can rest. And
I think a lot of times you don't want to share all the lows with people, especially if it's a fertility journey, because it's like, I can't manage other people's emotions. Like, I'm barely managing mine, but we've seen that it's been really powerful. I mean, they've told us that our friends have told us the fact that we and our family have been able to pray with you, gotten excited, and then been devastated with you, and now to see the answered prayer, it's just built our faith so much as well. And it's just, God, you have to. God moves through community. And if you feel like you're not experiencing God, it might be because you're not in community. Like, it's just true. So that happened.
Right.
We got the call in September. And what's funny is, again, we got the call just a few days before our second refresh retreat, which was wild. Well, we got the call.
It was the first mountain retreat, too.
It was the first mountain retreat.
Special.
It was really fun. But our agent said, okay, you're matched. So what happens when you're matched is you have basically 24 hours to pay your deposit. That's our story anyways. I'm not sure if it's like that everywhere. But so we had to raise $18,000 to, solidify our yes. So we did.
Well, we say we did, but
we did it. We
really,
our community
did it, and our pastors led the way on that. And within 3 hours, they had raised the first half of our adoption fees, basically. And
so many special people that have just been praying for us just sewed in.
It was crazy how quickly it happened.
Wild.
And typically finances are something for me that I struggle with, but I feel like once we said yes to this, it wasn't a worry for me. Like I didn't even think twice about it. It was like I had this peace, and then of course once the community stepped in and it happened, it was like, let's go.
I know. I was never worried about the fine. I mean, it's expensive to adopt, and our agency was a little less than normal, but I was just like, that's the least of my worries. Like, I know it's gonna, I don't know why, but I just wasn't concerned about it. So we went away, did our mountain retreat, shared the news with all the girls that attended, and we were just in bliss, came back home, bought a rocker for the baby, and sent an email to the birth mom, and just started, this process of waiting.
The rocker is specifically, I don't know if you can see it back here in the background, but that was specifically a move for me.
Yeah, we had never bought anything for babies
starting
before.
to let my heart go there. And so we were a few weeks into this process, and again, when you're in the adoption process, as many of you you have to enter with some caution because there's a lot of details that can change. And so when we bought this rocker, it was like, it's time to start getting ready. And so that's something that sticks out in my head is buying the rocker and starting to make a home and get ready to bring home this little baby.
The nesting was strong immediately for me.
Yeah.
So baby was due to be born on February 28th of 2026.
Right. And
the cool part about that, and just a God detail, is that...
Which is today, by the way, when we're filming.
Oh my gosh, it's your due date! Oh, that's special.
Yeah.
That's cool. So today's her due date. Okay. She's obviously came early, but which means that she would have been conceived. She would have come into the world, come into being around the same time that I was finishing up my ectopic pregnancy. And that's crazy detail to me.
Yeah.
Like around the time where I was just devastated, questioning God, like felt like I had lost a baby. God brought our baby, knit her together. And that's just wild to me.
It is wild that he meets you in those details. I mean, some people would say, that's just coincidence. But if you've walked with the Lord long enough, come on, somebody.
Please zoom in on
there's no coincidences with him. And, as we've reviewed and gone over these details with each other, it's like, is it possible that she was conceived the same time we were literally finishing this? And then talk about your due date.
My due date?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
When you were pregnant.
Oh, well, yes. I'll do that in a second.
Okay.
So we had been matched, waited a few months. Well, in October, I think it was, or maybe it was November. In November, we're chugging along.
Just bought the recliner.
We got another text from our agent. Hadn't heard from her in a bit, so I was just checking in. I got a text from her, and she said, hey, there's been some developments. Can you give me a call? So I gave her a call. And basically, she ended up leaving the agency. And they were like, she could come back. We don't know. But unfortunately, at this point, the adoption's off.
Yeah.
And for 2 months, we thought the adoption was off, and we didn't hear any, updates like, oh, it's possible it's going to come back on. Like, no, it just was just like, lights off, it's done. And we didn't have foresight to see that she actually was going to still come. But God, people have free will, and God allowed us to go through those last 2 months, November and December of 2025. And for me, those were the darkest months of my life. And I'd been through a lot. 2 mosquitoes. Yeah. Ryan had been through so many things. But for me, it was the darkest time because it seemed like every door to growing our family was closing. I mean, getting pregnant, adoption, everything was closing. And it's like, what do you mean? Like this is the biggest disappointment, tease, hurt, heartbreak, no hope. And then at the same time, I had kind of gone back to my fertility doctor and just gotten news that some of my fallopian tubes have been jacked with the ectopic. Like, it was just this like whirlwind of devastation for me.
Yeah, I mean, same. It was like what you're describing. Like, we've tried every avenue. Now, again, I will say that I got to a place in the whole thing where, and I had some friends accuse me of just kind of protecting myself, but I'd gotten to a place where I realized that that if the Lord wanted to give us a child, he was going to give us a child. And so we probably were in different places, because you were in full devastation, probably more so than any part of this so far. And then I was in a place of, okay, like this might not happen.
Yeah, I mean, that was a reality.
And I was becoming okay with it. And what's funny about that is sometimes we have to get to that place before God will move. And
what's weird is I feel like we did get to that place on a certain level before that point. Like, we've had people say, oh, that's just what, and this is what humans do. They try to rationalize and make sense of difficulty. And so people have told me, oh, you just had to get to that place where you fully surrendered. And I'm like, but I did fully. So like, over and over again, like, had moments where I fully surrendered. Yeah. But this was like another level. Yeah. And it came back again to just that resolve of like, well, what else do we have? The only thing that will never be taken away from us is God and access to him, and Jesus taking care of us even in the craziness. And there is life to be had even if this doesn't happen, which I didn't even want to go there. So November and December were devastating, truly, and we're not going to sugarcoat it. It was hard. How do you even transition to December?
So some things changed, and so we I don't remember even getting the call. I just remember. Oh, no. So Lenisa's a preacher, if you don't know that. And so she preaches at our church 4 or 5 times a year. And on December 7th,
2025,
she was in our prayer area, our green room in the back, getting ready to go out for her first service of the day, first of 3.
Yes. And one of my stories I was going to share was about our failed adoption. Okay. I'm getting ready to go out.
And our lead pastor, who is right up in the middle of this whole thing.
Yes. Knows the birth family.
Comes in and says, have you heard the news?
And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, have you heard?
What did he say to you?
And I was like, are you serious? Like, I started getting an inkling of what he was talking about. And he was like, your birth mom's back at the agency. She's going to go forward with the adoption.
2 minutes on the countdown.
2 minutes on the countdown before I walk out on stage and somehow preach a sermon. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this information? Like, how are you telling me this?
Well, what's funny is he walks out. He walks out, and I'm sitting on the front row, and he leans over, and he's like,
if you're watching this,
you're
never letting
He's not watching this.
He's probably not.
He's not this far into it, I can tell you that. he leans over to me and he says, did you hear birth mom's back in? And I'm like, no, that's crazy. I reacted in some way, but then point of this is he says, yeah, I just told Lanisa. And I was like, you what? He's like, yeah, I told her. And I'm like, you told her before she goes on the stage to preach? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, would you like it if I did that to you? And he was like, oh no.
And when his wife found out, April was like, what the?
Why would you?
I was squirrely.
So that's how we found out.
That's how we found out. A few days later, we got another text from our agent. She confirmed it. And she was like, cautiously optimistic, you just never know. She could leave again, whatever. It's just adoption. You don't know until it's done. And I was like, cautiously optimistic. I don't want to do that. But we got word that she was like, it's back on. And baby's due end of February, you have a few months to get ready. That was December, probably 9th or something.
Yeah.
So we were just like, okay, we have a few months. And we started getting more excited.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then I think it's important to note that I was like, we got to get this house ready.
Yeah.
Like, we got to...
Oh, yeah.
We got to go all in now. Like, this thing's 6 weeks away. Like,
yeah. Only 6 weeks away.
We have... Everything is on pause other than the recliner back here. We have nothing ready to go. And
he was like, you need to start a registry.
Right.
And I was like, no.
You didn't say no. You were just like,
so
okay. And then would do nothing. And so guess who started the registry? Your boy. So I started putting some stuff on it, and I'm like, hey, what do you want for this? What do you want for that? Well, Anissa's just a little bit crunchy. And so I was putting stuff on there that I would just get, and she's like, what are you putting? That's probably the best way I got her into it, was putting stuff that wasn't non-toxic and organic on it. Funny. And then she had to get in and start actually putting the stuff that she wanted on there. And then...
So we kind of took our time, because we knew once baby was here, we were going to have to pay the second half of the adoption fee.
Yep.
So we kind of took our time telling a bunch of people, fundraising that, because we were hesitant still a little bit, I think.
Cautiously optimistic.
But it got to the point where we were like, we just have to do this. So we bought a cute little onesie that said Tiny Little Miracle on it, and we took Knox, our dog, and we went to a nature preserve, and we took pictures that announced our pregnancy, or our adoption, and we posted it. And actually, we didn't post it yet. We just took the pictures. And then that night, we went over to our best friend's house, and we were going to tell them the gender, because we had been able to go and visit birth mom. She had ended up going into the hospital for some things, and so we got to go visit her and hang out with her, and we just laughed and talked about all sorts of things. And while we were there, they leaked the gender. We didn't fully want to know, but as soon as they leaked it, we were so glad that we knew the gender. And so we went over to our best friend's house that night, and we were going to tell them the gender. We were there, and we were just kind of hanging out, and literally, probably right before we're going to tell them the gender, I get a text message from the agency saying, baby might be coming tonight.
What?
This is still in December, right? Yes, this is still in obviously. This is still in December. And can you imagine getting a text message like that? And I'm like, oh my gosh! And Ryan's over there like...
Listen, I don't know.
As Ryan is. I don't freaking know, dude.
I can't explain it. It's just who I am.
I'm like freaking out. I end up going out on their trampoline, jumping and getting energy out. And so they're like, we'll let you know. The doctor's coming in.
At that point, we were still expecting a couple of weeks, right?
Yes.
We were still expecting a mid-January, which was 6 weeks early.
Yeah, bare minimum. We knew she was going to be coming early. Mm-hmm. We knew she wasn't going to make it till February 28th. No, it wasn't.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. We knew she wasn't going to be coming February 28th. We knew she was going to be born early because of some complications. But we thought, hey, she'll come at, mid-January. And then we get this text message in December. And she's like, the doctor's in here. I'll call you as soon as the doctor leaves, and I'll update you on what the plan is. An hour goes by. Longest hour of my life. And then she calls us, and she's like, okay, everything's kind of stable right now, but baby is coming in the next few days.
Okay.
So
what do we do?
Go to Target. Our best friends are like, I feel like we should go to Target. We should do a Target. It was like 10
I'm
p.m.
gonna buy me some stuff. And we're like,
so we all cram into
like college again.
Yeah, we all cram into our cars, drive to Target, and just have like the best time, just like buying all this stuff. And our friend Glenn, he's like, "You're crunchy, right? These diapers say pure. You want the pure ones? Yeah, we'll get this whole box, toss them in there. Hey, you're gonna need this feeding thing. You know, while you're gonna be rocking and posting on Instagram, you're gonna want to feed her. We'll get that." They're just tossing all sorts of stuff in there.
So much fun.
It was so fun. And then after that, what did we do?
We went to Steak and Shake and got some skinny Steak and Shake fries and a milkshake.
We did. Celebrated, and we were like, holy cow.
Yeah. I don't think it still really hadn't hit me, like, at all. I mean...
No.
Even in Target, I was just kind of, like, wandering around, like...
You were.
Like...
I was like, where is Ryan? He disappeared.
Is it really happening? Yeah, I've been waiting a long time for this. And, yeah, she's here.
So the next day... we decided to put it out into the world. Baby's coming. And surprise, we're adopting. And we've been matched and baby's coming this week. And we have to raise $14,000. And in 3 hours, again, we raised $22,000.
Yeah.
Insane. So a few days goes by. We're kind of just like lingering at home, waiting. We start looking at baby names in books to try and decide and make a list.
You're down to like 5 names.
Yep. And then on December 30th, we get a phone call that says, baby's going to be born today, we're pretty sure.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I go to the hospital? Like, I will just wait in the parking lot, but can you give me the word and I am on my way there? Like, I want to be there.
Yeah. So we went.
So we went to the hospital.
And we sat in the waiting room for... She was born at like 2:30 in the afternoon. 6:30, and we got there at 2:30 or something like that.
Just lingering.
We ordered some Panda Express.
Yes.
And
we were just waiting to hear.
First time in that waiting room. First time walking through those doors and just like hanging out waiting to hear the noise over the... Remember that?
Yeah,
we were sitting there and...
You know the music they play when the baby's born?
Yeah, and come to find out they don't do that till a couple hours after, but we were just waiting for some sort of news, and...
We were waiting in the waiting room, and Birdie comes downstairs and...
Doesn't know we're there,
Doesn't know we're there, but sees us. We haven't seen her in a few years, and we're just like, ah! We hug her, we're all excited. She's like, can you believe this? Like, who would have thought that our stories would collide in this way and we would be becoming family? And it was just such a special moment. Birth mom knew that we were there, and she was just so kind. I just remember the first time we met with her just saying such sweet things. It just felt like a movie almost. Yeah. And I don't say that lightly. I used to cringe when people would say this kind of stuff, guys. But it truly was like, she was like, what are you guys going to name it? And, oh, let me show you our phone. And this is how big baby is. And just like always saying that we were the parents and that she always wanted us. Like, it was very special that in the world of adoption, where you can be competing with other families and just like, it can just be weird dynamically, relationally. Yeah. This isn't. This is like the most perfect story for us and our personalities. The fact that we know this birth family, that we're friends with them, that our girl will grow up fully knowing her story and how loved she is. Like, it just makes it so easy, it feels like, in the world of adoption. So we were waiting in the waiting room, and the agent comes down and she's hanging out with us while birth mom goes into a C-section, and she comes down. She's so kind. She's just yapping with us, and we're laughing, talking about who knows what, hearing her stories. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, are you ready? Remember that? Mm-hmm. And you were like, yeah, let's go. We're going up to the room. Remember? Yeah. And she's like, I got a picture. And we're like, oh, the baby's born.
Yeah. Yeah, we were like, we thought we were going to get to go back that day and meet her, and but that was not the case. She shows us the picture, and it's hilarious.
She's like a spot. What was it called? A spot?
I was spatchcock chicken.
Spatchcock chicken. She's like this. Her lips are like this. She looks pink and covered in cheese. Yeah. So cute. She was born early.
Perfect 2 pounds 6 ounces.
Yes, 2 pounds 6 ounces. And so she immediately goes to the NICU. And so our agent's like, okay, I'm going to go up there and see if we can get you guys to be able to go up and see her.
Yeah.
So we waited a while, and she comes back down. She's like, they changed the NICU rules, and unfortunately, you're not able to go up until consents are signed, which is 48 hours after birth or at discharge in the state of Florida. So we're like, and at this point, like, you just have, we were open hands at that point. Like, we were so excited that it honestly wasn't that big of a deal, I feel like, for us.
No.
We're like, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
So we went home, waited, 32 hours or whatever it was, and then we came back to the hospital on January 1st, and we got to meet with birth mom and the whole birth family and just laughed and hang out one more time, and it was so special. And then they finally gave us wristbands, and we got to go up at like 11 p.m.
That's right, it was late. I remember that. That was so special to go in and see her. And again, if you've ever been to a NICU or anything like that, like, she was in this spaceship, and so we were only able to put our arms in. And
so tiny, covered up with cords.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't even think about that a whole lot anymore because we don't have the cords and the CPAP and all this stuff. But, like, that was a really special night. So.
It's very special.
Yeah.
A lot of God details. Our nurse's name was Nicole. It's my best friend's name. Her little roommate's name was Arabella, which is one of our close friends who own the house we live in right now. We rent it from them, and their daughter's name was Arabella. And when we moved into this house, they still had their child locks on all the cabinets from Arabella. And I just remember being like, Lord, let this be like a little wink from you that we're going to bring a child home here. So it was just really cool. And here's the funny part, okay, ready? My due date for my ectopic pregnancy was December 28th of 2025. And Elianna Joy Spoon was born on December 30th. Just 2 days later, like at the same time. It just, like, this is the baby that God made for us. And she has this beautiful adoption story. Adoption is a biblical story. She'll grow up knowing her story. And so she came, born at 31 weeks.
31 weeks and 3 days.
So we got to spend a lot of time in the NICU.
47 days in the NICU.
Yep, going every single day.
And it was an incredible blessing.
Oh, it was.
An incredible blessing to...
The NICU was such a gift.
The nurses and just all the staff there, like... It did get hard at times, of course. The drive and exhausting. Nothing compared to now, but
no. But it was a gift in a lot of ways.
It really was.
How was it a gift for you? Just one way.
I think that the most obvious way is that she was supposed to still be in the womb for another 2 months, and instead of in the womb, she was with us.
It's like we got 2 months extra with her.
Yeah, and I think that's the most impactful time, or the most impactful detail about the NICU. The relationships that we formed with the nurses, was really cool. I think, some of the little, one of the things that I tried to do with her every day was take her on an adventure. And so I would make this deal with her that if she gained X amount of grams, right, we're talking about grams here, that we would go on a trip. And all these trips were trips that Lenice and I had been on at some point, or to a place that I grew up or something, but every day we had story time, and it was so much fun to be there and just to be a part of her story.
Yeah. So Elianna Joy means God has answered. Elianna means God has answered.
My God has answered.
My God has answered. Which he has. Joy is our middle name because Ryan got his joy back.
Yeah, I feel like in 2025 was the year God restored my joy, which, thank you, Lord, because going through that year without joy.
Oh, that would have been scary.
I can't imagine.
No.
I can't imagine.
And then Spoon. He's the big spoon. I'm the little spoon. We refer to her as our teaspoon.
Teaspoon.
The NICU was a gift for me because I was so triggered by medical things regarding babies. And even though Elianna was born so early and so little, she was fine. Like, she was on CPAP only, never on oxygen.
Yeah.
She got off CPAP after, like,
10 days, I think.
she had nothing else, no other issues. She was just little, but she was like, you can't tell me I'm little. Like, she was doing everything right. She was just, waiting to get to 4 pounds.
How many times did we hear people say, like,
she's a rock star.
She's a rock star, she's an overachiever, she's, like...
She started feeding so quickly and easily to a bottle.
They kept telling us, don't expect her to do well, like, she might do 10%, and then the next day...
We're like, okay.
So our expectations were low or realistic, and then the first day she did like 80%,
Crazy.
And then the next day, like within 3 or 4 days,
She's
she was
amazing.
hitting all of her goals.
God was just like pouring out, and that was really soothing to me because my brain naturally was bracing for bad news regarding medical stuff. But the nurses, anytime they would have to come in because one of her alarms was going off or anything like that, they were so calm. They're like, she's fine. It's all right. She's going to be okay. And that was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, it was a gift for me in that way. It brought me a lot of peace. So yeah. What else?
So the NICU was
awesome.
really
We were
special.
just waiting on her to get 4 pounds.
And then...
Oh, okay, this is the last thing. We'll end it here, I think, unless you think of anything. So our pastor...
oh, gosh.
Again, he's not watching, so the end of this.
No, he's the kind of guy that he likes to hold things above your head. No, I'm just kidding. No, he basically...
Listen, at the end of the day, it's prophetic, so...
I want to say a week into Elianna being in the NICU, he was like, so what are you thinking when she coming home? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, sometime in February, hopefully. He was like, she's coming home on February 14th.
Valentine's Day. I'm
And
waiting for Valentine's Day.
And he said it over and over.
Okay.
And I'm like, and then to be honest with you, she was on track to come home earlier. And so I kept saying, nah, it's going to be earlier. I'm saying February 9th. Random date, by the way. And but he kept saying, no, it's February 14th. She's coming home on February 14th. And sure enough, like the 2 days before, they were like, she's probably going home on Saturday. And I'm like, dang it.
February 14th. She got discharged.
On Valentine's
Day. Valentine's Day. 4 pounds, 4.5 ounces. Looked like a little doll. And we brought her home and have just been quietly, like, along with our people,
surviving.
Somehow being here with the baby. That's ours.
Yeah. She's perfect.
It's crazy.
Poor Knox is his whole life has been shaken up. I don't know if you can see him back there in full sleep mode.
It's like I've been neglected.
Yeah. We're just so blessed and so grateful.
Got to have my baby shower. Like, it's really cool.
You did. And it was, I wasn't there, but it was Lanisa style, like done in only the way that she would do it. And
why?
Because you've said so long that, like, I don't want to do a normal baby shower. Like, I don't want the things that I don't enjoy about the baby shower. I don't want my baby shower to be that way. And so, not to mention that it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Thanks to, our incredible friends who did all of that.
But it was really a celebration.
It was a celebration, and
God's
the Lord was worshipped. He was honored.
He worshipped.
It was about that, and
it was sweet.
And yeah, it was very special. And since we've been home 2 weeks today, right?
Yep.
We have been. Again, this is not a video about community, but they say it takes a village. I mean, like, we have been so blessed by some very close friends of ours who have just done everything they can to make this transition easy for us, from bringing us meals. Again, we're not talking about, like, just bringing us meals. We're talking about they cook dinner at home, and then they bring us dinner, and then they sit with us, and then they are remodeling a nursery for us, and then they come and bring us food and hang out. We had our best friends, Glenn and Nicole, the other night, come over and brought dinner. I was sleeping for the first half while they were here, Well, I get up, and Lanisa's about 30 minutes into me being up. She's like, I think I'm going to go to bed.
And they just
This is like 7:30 at night. And
late.
yeah, which is prime sleeping time right now. And so they ended up sitting here with me for another 5 hours, just hanging out.
Holding her.
Just being here. Like, if they had been here, I would have been sitting on the couch with her, probably watching some sort of sports video or something, just trying to stay awake. And
it's made all the difference.
It's
if
crazy.
You don't have a village, be the village.
Yeah.
Like, be the village. And reach out. That's one thing I would just say as we end this. Like, you can go through your life quiet and not sharing what you're walking through with other people and being very vulnerable with them. And you will be lonely and you will be anxious.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the reality of it. And people process things differently. I'm not saying you need to process things like I do. I'm just saying God has people around you, but it's going to take you being willing to share your story with other people. And, hey, I'm going through this. Hey, this is what I'm walking through. Can you pray with me? Can you encourage me? Can we go get coffee? Like, I just need some people right now. And you'll be surprised, I believe, how God will show up for you and care for you through those relationships.
So
but
true.
You have to be willing to do it.
It's a common theme in this story for the last several years.
We've been very open about sharing our story this entire time.
Every low, every devastation,
every loss,
every celebration, and because of our community, who celebrate with us, who mourn with us, who push us, who, when we don't have faith, they have faith. Just so grateful. And now,
you're a dad.
And our little girl.
Should we show her or no?
Right there.
She's in a basket. That's so cute.
Little Moses basket.
She's precious. So, we love you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the story. If you made it all the way through, that's awesome. If you know someone that needs a lift and encouragement in their faith, please share this with them. If there's anything I want you to know from this, it's not that you're going to get that answer to prayer, because I don't know how God's going to answer your prayer, but I do know that God sees you, because if he sees us, he absolutely sees you. And the theme of my life, and I've built becoming around this, is have a resolve to not give up on God.
Yeah, that's good.
Just don't do it.
I want to also last thing I want to say, and this is not a plug for the music or anything like that, but we're going to link this song, Satisfy. You can stream it anywhere. But just hearing the story, our story, it's the message behind that song. And my prayer, we wrote this song for our church, and it has ministered to a lot of people there. So my prayer is that as you listen to it, you will just grab onto that theme, that no matter what it is, and our story right now has been growing our family, but there will be other things in our lives that we strive for, that we look to fulfill us. And so no matter what your thing is, my prayer is that you realize that Jesus is the only thing ever that will fill the voids and satisfy us. And so we'll link that on there so you guys can listen to that and prayerfully minister to you.
Yes. We love you. Thanks
Love you
for
guys.
listening. Bye.